Captain Ron Hagerman. He rents jet skis here. He takes people on tour guides. And this is Marco Island here. This is his pickup truck, and this is his fleet of rentals here. So we're gonna take a tour with him today and see what it's all about, where he takes you, and explore this area. So first I wanted to ask Captain Ron here for him to tell us a little bit about himself and why should people go with him on his tours. You know, what's the big deal? Why you shouldn't be out here on your own trying to do this? Ron, so I'll let you take over from here.
All right, thanks, Rob. So, you know, basically this 10,000 Islands is it's kind of an unforgiving place. You can be there at the right time and nothing would ever happen, and there's more times than not that you could be there and have something happen. Mainly running aground, there's oyster beds, there's tree stumps, there's sandbars, there's just every kind of obstacle out there. Unless you know where it is, you don't know where it is. So you can't see those things on your map. So I do 50 mile, 60 mile guided trips. I've been doing it for 35 years now, since 1987. And you know, I'm out to show people a good time, show you what we have to offer in this area, and take you for a cool ride, you know.
Awesome. Now, you were saying to me before, this is the Everglades, isn't it?
This is the very end of the Everglades. It starts in Central Florida and works its way down through the grasslands and then through the mangroves, and then it's and out to sea. It's a big filter. Everything is a big filter, filtering the water out.
Wow. And has there been a situation where you've actually had to go out there and rescue somebody because they got lost or they bottomed out on an oyster bed or anything?
I've run into accidental rescues, like found people lost and overheating because they've got in the mud and they don't know, you know, how to get out, and they're by themselves generally, and so I've towed a few people home from the woods or pointed them in the right direction when they get lost. Yeah, it happens.
So
this is a place where you don't see a lot of other people, and the reason is you don't know where you're going. You don't belong there. That's the whole thing.
Exactly.
Even the fishing guides around here don't go very far into those woods. Only the seasoned ones do.
Right.
You know, everybody else stays close to home. So, you know, if you rent a jet ski on your own and you try and go out here, 8 out of 10 times you're going to have some sort of a problem. You're going to get stuck somewhere. Something's going to happen. And if you try to explore on your own, well, then you're going to wind up staring at your map half the time and going 5 miles an hour.
Right.
If you want to really ride, you go with a guide who knows the way, and you ride and keep moving, you know?
Right, because
so it keeps the pace up. And then, you know, also just knowing, like, every turn. I know every single turn, and every turn I make has a purpose. There's a way that I make that turn so that the person behind me is safe. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing it on your own, you might go around one of those turns 5 miles an hour too fast, and then you're chewing on branches.
Right.
Know? So it's you gotta have somebody with the experience to know, hey, you might want to go fast here, but this isn't the place. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I'm safety oriented. I have a perfect track record, 37 years, 35 years. I've never had an accident, more than a
Right.
Band-Aid, you
Right.
know? So I also like to teach. So I take beginners out, obviously. They've never been on skis. I take nervous people out. I love to teach, and my goal is to teach everybody that's with me how to be an expert rider within about 15 minutes of departing here. And then everybody's on the same page, and then we can all move without having to stop every 5 minutes and talk. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, get in line or whatever it is. You know? We have an understanding at the beginning, just like we'll have a captain's meeting in a few minutes.
Exactly.
And we'll talk about how the ride's going to go, and then we're going to go.
Right. So now, another good thing about Captain Ron is that if you don't have a ski, he rents you one.
Yes.
So, it doesn't matter.
Well, if you own your own, a good point is if you own your own, but your friends don't, you can bring yours, and your friends can rent, and you can all get together and go for a
and
jet ski
follow
ride.
along. Exactly. So if you have a ski, you can follow him. If you don't have a ski, then you can rent one of his skis. I had the opportunity to go out there yesterday for a little while, and I noticed it can go from 10 to 15 feet to 3 feet right away, and I wasn't even going fast. So this is a big deal. You can't just go out there and hit the throttle and think that, okay, I'm safe. This is why I recommend Captain Ron, if you want to check out this area, if you want to check out the domes, because anything could happen in a split second, as we already know from what happened in my last ride, July 2nd with Juan. It's really dangerous. These things are really dangerous. So I'm going to take a tour with him today. I'm going to post drone video. I'm going to post GoPro video so you guys can see how it is. And I'm also going to put the link to his website. So if you guys are interested, come down here, rent an Airbnb, and take one of his tours. All right. So I'll catch you guys out there in the water. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, these were built in 1980 by a guy named Bob Lee. He built the same domes one other time, and he brought the forms down here, put them on a barge, brought them out here and built these domes. He used the sand right from the beach that used to be here, had it tested. It was the perfect sand for making concrete, so he was able to mix his cement right out here and build this. I first saw this in 1983, and when I first saw this, there was at least 600 feet of beach on the other side of the house.
In that direction over there?
Seaward, 600 feet, that's how much is missing. So the house is surrounded by pine trees. There was a little lagoon right here where we're sitting, and then the rest was mangroves. And every day, when the tide comes in, it takes the sand that way. And it doesn't matter when the tide goes back out, it doesn't come back. So every day, the beach goes away and they sink a little more.
Oh.
And these things were way ahead of their time. They have exterior insulation. It's a urethane foam insulation on the outside, extra wide gutters to collect rainwater. The tallest one is a tank for holding it. It was solar powered. There were 2 other houses out here too.
There were 6, right?
Huh?
There were
6 total?
Yeah, the one on the far end is down, and around the corner, 2 of them down from Irma. And I think this one on the right is about to go this year. They're getting weak.
The deepest one there?
Yeah, because the waves can hit it now. Before the waves went through the legs, now the waves can hit the building.
So that's how this ended up underwater then, correct?
Just all the sand that was there washed away. It's not global warming, it's erosion.
Beach erosion.
Beach erosion.
Yep.
So 1,200 feet of beach is missing here since when I first saw it in 1983.
Wow.
1,200. And they were going to develop that island. That island was going to have a bridge to it, and they were going to develop it.
Oh, from the mainland over there where the hotels are at?
By the boat ramp over across to Dickman's Point.
Yeah.
And then Kais Island was going to be developed.
Oh, wow.
Would have been missing a lot of homes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, and there was a pyramid house next door. It looked just like a pyramid, sheathed in plywood.
Yeah.
Lady lived there full time. It was like Dr. Doolittle down here. You know, like
Oh, man.
emus running loose on the beach and wading in the water.
Yeah.
Horses in a corral. Exotic birds in these big cages that she built. Monster aviary cages, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool back then. But, you know, now every day that wears back. And there used to be 50 lots for sale here. The state owns just about every single one of them now. They were like giving up. Because nobody will let you build here. You know?
Ah.
Right?
Awesome.
If you look offshore over there, it's hard to see, but you see the land out there?
Oh, yeah, there is another little island over
It's
there.
called Second Chance Island.
Second Chance Island.
That's where all the sand from this beach is. That's this beach.
So
out
that's
there.
all the wash up of the constant tide.
Yep.
Bye.